U.S. President Donald Trump hosted Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at the White House on Monday. At the start of the meeting, the leaders indicated progress on a controversial effort to relocate Palestinians out of Gaza.
You know, if people want to stay, they can stay. But if they want to leave, they should be able to leave. It shouldn't be a prison. It should be an open place and give people a free choice. We're working with the United States very closely about finding countries that will seek to realize what they always say, that they want to give the Palestinians a better future.
And we've had great cooperation from surrounding Israel, surrounding countries, great cooperation from every single one of them. So something good will happen.
Trump floated relocating Palestinians and taking over the Gaza Strip earlier this year. Gazans broadly criticized the proposal and vowed never to leave their homes in the coastal enclave. Human rights groups condemned the plan as ethnic cleansing. Netanyahu's visit to the White House comes just over 2 weeks after the president ordered the bombing of Iranian nuclear sites in support of Israeli airstrikes. Trump then helped arrange a ceasefire in the 12-day Israel-Iran war. Trump said his administration would be meeting with Iran and that he would like to lift sanctions on Iran at some point.
I would love to be able to, at the right time, take those sanctions off, give them a chance at rebuilding.
Iran's president said in an interview released on Monday that he believed Iran could resolve its differences with the United States through dialogue. Trump and his aides appear to be trying to seize on any momentum created by the weakening of Iran, which backs Hamas, to push both sides for a breakthrough in the 21-month Gaza war. And while Trump and Netanyahu met in Washington, Israeli officials held indirect negotiations with Hamas in Qatar, aimed at securing a U.S.-brokered Gaza ceasefire and hostage release deal. In a sign of continued gaps between the two sides, Palestinian sources on the second day of negotiations said that Israel's refusal to allow the free and safe entry of humanitarian aid into Gaza remains the main obstacle to progress in the talks. Israel insists it is taking steps to get food into Gaza, but seeks to prevent militants from diverting supplies. Prior to Trump and Netanyahu's meeting, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt told reporters that Trump's Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff will travel to Doha this week to join the discussions.
Also, as you
Hi, I'm Jasmine Levin, and I proudly own and operate Puppy Levin. Puppy Levin is a pet care salon dedicated to caring for your furry companions. We provide certified dog grooming services, along with boarding and doggy daycare. Our facility is family-owned and operated and promise personalized care for every pet that comes through our doors. If you're worried about your furry friend being lonely when you're gone, we also have on-site personnel 24/7 just for their comfort. Follow us on Facebook and call or text us at 814-758-9259 to make an appointment today.
Anyone with a kind and generous heart and a little money can be a philanthropist. You too can be a force for good in our community, and the Crawford Heritage Community Foundation is here to help you make the most of your charitable giving. We've partnered with hundreds of people like you to make our world and our community a better place. You can give through us to support scholarships or any charitable organization or purpose. Whether you're interested in establishing a permanent endowment or adding to an existing fund, we want to be a part of your plan. Contact us when you're ready to make your mark. Together, we can make your contribution go further.
The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home has been serving the needs of Titusville and surrounding communities since 1965. Mr. Garrett believed in tradition and commitment to excellence, standards that have been passed down from one generation to now a new generation, who will work to provide you with a beautiful, lasting tribute to your loved one. When you need them, they will be there for you. This has been their foundation for almost 60 years. The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home, 303 North Washington Street in Titusville.
Thinking about switching to 5G home internet? Think again. Unlike Zoom from Armstrong, 5G home internet is delivered by a cell tower. The further away you are, or the more devices connected to that tower, the slower your internet is. Cell phone providers also play favorites. When their network gets busy, cell phones win, and your home internet pays the price. Stick with Armstrong to get more data, more speed, and internet whenever you need it, not whenever they want. Armstrong, keeping you connected.
Sheer Design is Titusville's exclusive Paul Mitchell-focused salon. This full-service salon specializes in coloring, cuts, nails, and tanning. Owner Angela Saxon has over 20 years' experience as a Paul Mitchell professional. She and her licensed staff offer all cuts and styles for men and women of all ages. Call 814-827-0010 or stop in at 116 South Kerr Street in Titusville.
J. Gill Plumbing and Heating takes pride in being the premier heating and air conditioning service provider in the area. With over 30 years of experience, our highly skilled and certified technicians will work closely with you to address your heating and air conditioning repair, installation, or maintenance needs. Our team is dedicated to making your home the ultimate place of comfort. Call today to get a free estimate. We also offer financing options and membership opportunities that provide peace of mind and cost savings. Call J. Gill Plumbing and Heating today or visit them online 24/7 at jgillplumbingheating.com.
If you're looking for a professional massage therapist, Tranquil Moments Massage in Titusville is here for you. Ray and Rauch graduated from Slippery Rock University with a bachelor's degree in exercise and rehabilitative sciences with an emphasis in athletic training. Tranquil Moments offers a wide range of services from Swedish massage to deep tissue, sugar scrubs to hot towel inclusion therapy. Like them on Facebook and visit their website to learn more about all the services they offer. Tranquil Moments Massage in Titusville.
Share the fun of train travel and relive our country's oil history as you ride the OC&T through the valley that changed the world. Learn about the past while traveling on vintage cars. See a variety of wildlife with stops at Drakewell Park, Petroleum Center, and Oil Creek State Park. Arrive early and see the vast collection of train and railroad memorabilia at Perry Street Station. After the ride, enjoy a night stay at the Caboose Motel. For seasonal specials or for more information, visit octrr.org or call 814-676-1733.
U.S. stocks closed lower on Monday, with the Dow, S&P 500, and NASDAQ each shedding just under 1%. All three indexes added to losses after President Donald Trump announced 25% tariffs on Japanese and South Korean imports due to take effect on August 1st. Stocks wobbled further later in the day when Trump announced hefty tariffs on several other countries, including South Africa and Malaysia. Ross Mayfield, investment strategist at Baird, said stocks could retreat further as Trump continues to pressure U.S. trade partners.
So we've got some actual numbers put on trade partners, big trade partners, and then the threat of additional tariffs. We kicked the can down the road a little bit from July 9th to August 1st, but not a lot, still not a lot of time to make trade deals with 50 plus countries. So I think there's a continuing anticipation and anxiety about what the final trade deal and tariff levels will look like.
The S&P 500's biggest drag came from shares of Tesla, which fell nearly 7% after CEO Elon Musk announced the formation of a new political party, further escalating his feud with Trump. It was the stock's biggest daily slide since June 5th and its lowest closing level since that session. Among other movers, shares of WNS Holdings rallied more than 14% after the French IT services firm Capgemini agreed to buy the outsourcing firm for $3.3 billion in cash. And shares of NVIDIA-backed CoreWeave fell more than 3% after the AI hyperscaler said it will buy crypto miner Core Scientific in an all-stock deal valued at about $9 billion. Shares of Core Scientific plunged more than 17.5%.
All right, happy Tuesday as we take a look at your weather forecast for northwest Pennsylvania. Cloudy skies this morning, becoming partly cloudy this afternoon with temperatures in the upper 70s. Partly cloudy tonight with lows in the upper 50s. Wednesday, mostly cloudy, low 80s. Thursday, scattered thunderstorms and temperatures in the low 80s. Friday, partly cloudy, low to mid 80s. Saturday, partly cloudy with temperatures in the upper 80s. Meadville this morning at 67 degrees. Cambridge Springs, Edinboro 66. Titusville 67. Franklin 68. Oil City 68 degrees here at 713. This is the Morning Drill. You're watching it on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel.
Everybody wake up, it's the Morning Drill. Helping to start your day. Everybody wake up with Luke and Amy. The sun's going to shine my way. Everybody wake up. Get your day started with the Morning Drill. News and info will help you get your.
See that sky this morning? We need a little bit of hope and encouragement here this morning, don't we?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's good stuff right there. All right. Welcome into a Tuesday morning. Glad you're with us here on this, what is today? The 8th day of July. We've got birthdays, what we're celebrating. We'll do that here in a little bit. We've got Joe Tech joining us later this morning. Looking forward to catching up with Joseph and see what's going on in the world of technology. I'm guessing Elon Musk will be in the news a little bit. Between Tesla stock and the third party that Musk is launching. So there's that. I saw a story.
How many third parties, like really? I mean, there's always a third
Not happening.
party.
You would think in today's age, maybe that would make, maybe we'd have like 20 parties by now.
Yeah.
But it's just.
They kind of fizzle out.
Yeah, but see, this is why
absorb into.
Both parties, I mean, really. Well, I don't get it. I wasn't planning on getting into this.
Okay, don't get into it.
I'm not.
Go on to the next.
Yeah. Okay.
Sometimes that might be a good choice. On to the next.
On to the next. Well, yeah. It's a great conversation.
That we're not having today.
Yeah, today.
It's okay.
Today will not be the day for that. We'd like to try to have these conversations a couple times a year when we do our election coverage. Mm-hmm. Between like Jack and I talking about it, but we'd like to try to get our guests to talk about stuff like that. Anyhow, we'll get to birthdays and what we're celebrating here in just a little bit. The Pirates, they got clobbered by the Royals 9-3 last night. Detroit beat the Rays 5-1. Marlins beat the Reds 5-1. Red Sox over the Rockies 9-3. Brewers over the Dodgers 9-1. Blue Jays with the win over the White Sox 8-4. Astros fell to the Guardians 7-5. Angels with a 6-5 win over the Rangers. Diamondbacks beat the Padres 6-3. Giants over the Phillies 3-1. The final there. Tuesday night here will feature the Pirates again with the Royals at 7:40. Pirates are 38-54. Royals are 44-48. If you're a fan of the Guardians, they'll play tonight at 8:10 in Houston as that series continues on. Guardians with a 41-48 record. Cleveland almost at the bottom of their division, not quite. They got the White Sox to kind of buffer them. So in the American League Central Division, you got Detroit, Kansas City, Minnesota, Cleveland, and the Chicago White Sox. Speaking of Cleveland, what a dare I say a fun town we never really go to visit. And there's a lot of cool things there. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. There's that indoor mall, which is going to be featured in the Superman movie. There's a shot of, I think, Superman and Lois Lane, and there's like this glass like ceiling, and he's kind of floating up with her, I think.
Okay.
That was filmed in Cleveland.
Yeah, cool.
So it's kind of cool. You got Pittsburgh and Cleveland as these locations where major movies are being filmed, and so that's a cool thing. But we never say, hey, let's go to Cleveland. I guess in fairness, we don't really jump in the car and say, let's go to Pittsburgh.
No.
But there's a lot of really cool places to explore.
Yeah.
In both those cities.
I think, when our kids were younger, the museums and the zoo and amusement parks were more frequented, but now we're kind of up against different schedules, so it's difficult to jump in the car and go for the day. But Cleveland, I think the last time we were there was you and I, right?
The last time? I don't know.
I don't remember. Well, so I was there for work, but it wasn't like, it was, into the city in the morning and out immediately.
No, we flew out of Cleveland.
Yeah, but I'm saying to go actually, other than the airport, I think 24 years ago, you and I. Yeah.
Well, I got lucky. I was able to broadcast live from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which was really a cool experience. Because people were walking past you on these tours and they're looking in at you. It felt like being at the zoo, but no, it was a really cool experience. And we just talked to a friend of ours who took their grandson to the Pittsburgh Zoo over the weekend. So, great weekend for that.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
We enjoyed the aquarium part's really cool.
And I'm not discounting please no, I'm not discounting the Pittsburgh Zoo.
Very hilly. Very hilly.
It's hilly, difficult with the stroller, and I think it felt like there were as many animals in the Erie Zoo, just not spaced so far apart.
Yeah. That's by the way, the live shot of Pittsburgh this morning. So hustle and bustle. But no, Cleveland. There's a couple cool things to check out. But anyhow, Cleveland on the road tonight. You can't go watch the Guardians unless you're in Houston. But that game will air at 8:10 tonight. Anything else going on in the world? Boy, everybody was struggling yesterday coming off the 4th of July weekend. Too many hot dogs, too many hamburgers. It's so nice having Friday and then the weekend and then back. But no, I think there's a lot of excitement. You know what? We joked yesterday. I don't know if it was really joking. Like the day after the 4th of July, all the back to school and Halloween stuff starts rolling out on shelves. Last night we were eating dinner and scrolling through, and almost every ad was like either a Halloween ad or back to school. So again, I don't know. I'm sure the phone's listening, but man,
crazy.
Yep.
Crazy.
And you already feel like you're behind then on that stuff when you start seeing that, you know?
Well, you know what? We don't have to be. I mean, I could use my upcoming vacation time to
go back to school shopping.
No,
would the kids love that?
Put our Halloween decorations up.
Yeah, let's get to back to school deals now.
And it's also hard too. Like I remember being as a parent, it's like, okay, like. You know, where are the jeans on sale? And this kid wants jeans, but this kid needs warm-up pants. And, you know, they're all different. And this one wants khakis. Like, it's...
Yeah. Wasn't it... I just remember there was a time... again, I don't think we really hit the back-to-school stuff till a week or two before school started.
Yeah, we were... I mean, we... Like I say, you know... We're lucky. We have boys, so getting them to even focus for a minute.
Yeah, because it kind of was a weird transition. It took a couple years to transition from we're getting everything before school starts to, you know what? Let's just make sure you have, you know, maybe a new pair of shoes because you just, you know, you had whatever you had last year and then what you wore through the summer and. Let's just start with shoes. And then as we start the school year, let's see what you need. And, you got picture data here. Okay, so let's go shop. So we would we eased into going, like we have to do it in August to, you know what, let's just wait till September. And also the weather seemed to shift a little bit.
Yeah, it was hot.
Yeah, so we didn't, you know, the blue jeans weren't a necessity right away.
Yeah.
But I remember there was a summer when... we tried to do back-to-school shopping a couple weeks before school started. We couldn't find shoes. Like, everybody was sold out of shoes.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And that was, I think, the big thing is just start the school year with a new pair of shoes.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Couldn't go. I mean, we went everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, nope, we don't have your size. Nope, not in stock. Sold out. So... and that's why, you know, some people get a jump on it now, then they're not worrying about it.
Yeah, but I guess, I think of, you know, jump on it now, go get some shoes, and then, you know, maybe if we're out and about, it would be us that our kids are, I like these ones better, you know?
Well, I'm the one that usually kind of blocks that stuff, where you're like, hey, these would be great for back to school. I'm like, back to school now? No. Can we just come back and we'll get them some other time?
Whenever you're
I'm
back.
the one.
Or they're sold out.
I'm the one that does that.
Mm-hmm.
So
thanks for admitting that.
I know. It's on me.
Shocking, your hair's gray and mine's not. Huh?
We're working on that.
You're working on my hair?
No, mine.
Oh, no. I like it.
All right. Let's get to birthdays and what we're celebrating. Today is the 8th day of July. So who has a birthday today?
All right. Chef Wolfgang Puck is 76 today. Actress Angelica Houston is 74.
Nice. Hey, do you know her brother was King Arthur, or is King Arthur, in the Robin Hood movie with Russell Crowe, and the bad guy in Angel Has Fallen.
Oh?
That's Angela, what's her name?
Houston?
Yeah. But it's not Angela, is
Angelica.
it? Angelica Houston. That's what I was thinking.
Whoa.
Yeah. So her brother's that guy.
Okay. Are you ready?
And their father was John Huston, famous actor, director.
Okay.
Okay.
Actor Kevin Bacon is 67. Actor Billy Crudup is 57. Musician Beck is 55. Actress Kathleen Robertson is 52. Actor Milo Ventimiglia is 48. I completely butchered that. Sophia Bush is 43. Actress Maya Hawke turns 27. Actor Jaden Smith turns 27. And that is all.
Okay. Happy birthday to them. Happy birthday to you if today happens to be your birthday from all of us here this morning, as we turn our attention to what it is we're celebrating on this Tuesday.
All right. It is Be a Kid Again Day.
Mm-hmm.
Math 2.0 Day. National Blueberry Day. National Chocolate and Almonds Day. National Freezer Pop Day, National Ice Cream Sundae Day, National Love Your Skin Day, National Video Game Day, One of Us is Missing Day, Scud Day, and that's it. That's all I got.
Okay.
Yeehaw.
Find something there to celebrate. Were we talking about Chef Boyardee recently?
I have no idea, but maybe. Sure. We'll pretend that we were just to make you feel better.
Well, I was talking to somebody about old Chef Boyardee.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, Chef Boyardee's founder sold the brand for $6 million in 1946.
Oh.
And their current company just sold it for $600 million to a
Holy
private
cow.
equity firm. Yeah, founded by an Italian immigrant, Chef Boyardee is just part of one of those American stories, the American dream. As a teenager, Hector left Europe to become a top chef at a luxury New York hotel before going out on his own and eventually creating a nationwide brand. Nearly a century later, Chef Boyardee brand has gone from $6 million in sales in 1946 to a $600 million deal today. So,
holy cow.
There you go. There's just times where ravioli sounds really good.
I can't, like that. I am weird. I can't. I can't do it.
That brand or just ravioli in general?
No, that like canned. Yeah, sorry. Can't do it.
Yeah, no, there's times, even walking through the aisles, like, especially if I'm hungry, I'll see the can, I'll be like, boy, that sounds good.
Yeah.
There's times where, like, a Saturday lunch, like if we go to the store before lunchtime on a Saturday, it's like, you know what, let's just get a can. I'll make that for the kids. So add that to the list of things I can make. Cereal, toast, eggs, Chef Boyardee.
All right.
That's sometimes overlooked.
Okay.
On my list. And rice. I can do rice. We also have a can of Spam that we purchased.
You've never.
I'm just waiting for you to say, honey, today's the day I want to try Spam for the first time.
I really feel like that's not going to happen, but okay.
You've never in your life eaten Spam.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm. Okay. You want to guess what the unhappiest job sector in America is?
Teaching.
No, that's a good guess. That's a really good guess.
Thank you.
One industry has taken the crown.
And that would be?
As the most miserable job sector in the United States, a new study finds. Known workforce management platform Deputy released its third annual Shift Pulse report last month, analyzing more than 1.5 million survey results from data collected between April 2024 and April 2025. The study included a new metric called the Net Happiness Score, which was determined by asking workers to share their personal sentiments about their respective jobs. Respondents were able to share if they felt good or amazing about their work, or if they were unhappy with their current setup for one reason or another. One job sector stood above the rest as the unhappiest in America. Results pointed to those working in pharmacies as having the worst net happiness score, with just 13.94% of pharmacy workers giving a positive assessment.
Yikes.
The next three on the unhappiest list were those who worked in delivery and postal services, animal health, and medical clinics. Conversely, the happiest workers were those who worked in tobacco, e-cigarette, and marijuana stores.
That's weird.
Crazy.
That's weird.
We'll talk more about it. Your headlines are next.
U.S. President Donald Trump hosted Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at the White House on Monday. At the start of the meeting, the leaders indicated progress on a controversial effort to relocate Palestinians out of Gaza.
If people want to stay, they can stay. But if they want to leave, they should be able to leave. It shouldn't be a prison. It should be an open place and give people a free choice. We're working with the United States very closely about finding countries that will seek to realize what they always say, that they want to give the Palestinians a better future.
And we've had great cooperation from surrounding Israel, surrounding countries, great cooperation from every single one of them. So something good will happen.
Trump floated relocating Palestinians and taking over the Gaza Strip earlier this year. Gazans broadly criticized the proposal and vowed never to leave their homes in the coastal enclave. Human rights groups condemned the plan as ethnic cleansing. Netanyahu's visit to the White House comes just over 2 weeks after the president ordered the bombing of Iranian nuclear sites in support of Israeli airstrikes. Trump then helped arrange a ceasefire in the 12-day Israel-Iran war. Trump said his administration would be meeting with Iran and that he would like to lift sanctions on Iran at some point.
I would love to be able to, at the right time, take those sanctions off, give them a chance at rebuilding.
Iran's president said in an interview released on Monday that he believed Iran could resolve its differences with the United States through dialogue. Trump and his aides appear to be trying to seize on any momentum created by the weakening of Iran, which backs Hamas, to push both sides for a breakthrough in the 21-month Gaza war. And while Trump and Netanyahu met in Washington, Israeli officials held indirect negotiations with Hamas in Qatar, aimed at securing a U.S.-brokered Gaza ceasefire and hostage release deal. In a sign of continued gaps between the two sides, Palestinian sources on the second day of negotiations said that Israel's refusal to allow the free and safe entry of humanitarian aid into Gaza remains the main obstacle to progress in the talks. Israel insists it is taking steps to get food into Gaza, but seeks to prevent militants from diverting supplies. Prior to Trump and Netanyahu's meeting, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt told reporters that Trump's Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff will travel to Doha this week to join the discussions.
Also, as you
Kick off your summer by saving big at Community Chevrolet's Summer Kickoff Sales Event. We wanted to call it the Dog Days of Summer Sale, but that made Clark too excited.
They told me I had to go outside if I started barking.
Save more than $10,000 off MSRP on a new Silverado, like the electrifying 2025 Chevy Silverado EV. Or hit the beach in the all-new Chevy Malibu RS and save nearly $4,000. The Dog Days of the Summer Kickoff Sales Event. This month at Community Chevy.
Interstate Pipe and Supply takes pride in providing superior customer service. That's why our dedicated employees are well trained and have the experience to offer friendly, quick, and reliable service and support. Need materials delivered to your job site? No problem. Interstate offers fast delivery from our 4 locations in Western Pennsylvania. We also serve Eastern Ohio, Northern Western Virginia, and Western New York. Service means business at Western Pennsylvania's premier pipe and supply company, Interstate Pipe and Supply.
Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning provides residential and light commercial air conditioning services throughout the area. They understand the importance of your cooling system working properly. That is why you can trust in Vanderhoof to do the job right. Whether it's a non-working air conditioner, yearly maintenance, or a new install, you can be assured that we will solve your problem quickly and efficiently. Your home's air conditioning system is far more than just temperature. It's a complete comfort system that combines temperature, humidity, air quality, and above all, safety. Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning in Titusville.
Looking for expert orthopedic care? Dr. Charlie Gates, a trusted name at Titusville Area Hospital, can help you regain mobility and a better quality of life. With years of experience and a passion for personalized care, Dr. Gates specializes in treating a wide range of orthopedic conditions. Whether it's joint pain, sports injuries, or orthopedic surgery, trust Dr. Charlie Gates at Titusville Area Hospital for your orthopedic care. Call 814-827-9770 today to schedule your appointment.
Welcome to Inspire Med Spa, the place you know and love for massages, Botox, laser resurfacing, and semi-permanent makeup. Now we're offering even more, including laser hair removal, tattoo removal, and hair rejuvenation. Our team is here to provide expert care in a peaceful, luxurious environment designed with your relaxation in mind. And with our newly added services, now you can get all your beauty services in one place. Visit Inspire Med Spa today, because you deserve to look and feel your best.
I know sometimes we get into it and it's just hard on both of us, but try to understand me more and I'll try to do the same. But you have excuses because you're old, so it's okay.
Listening is a form of love. Find ways to support your kids at sounditouttogether.org.
Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding is located at 305 East Spring Street in Titusville. Marsh Home Center welcomes you in to explore their growing inventory of name brand furniture, appliances, and bedding. Need something not currently in stock? No problem. Order from Marsh's online catalog and have it delivered right to your door. Visit Marsh's to see their entire showroom, ask questions, see what items are on sale, or just stop in and say hi. Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding, behind Giant Eagle in Titusville.
Whether you want to go and lead in your craft in the trades, whether you want to go and be that nurse or medical worker and have a real impact on lives, or whether you want to go and help that business improve its bottom line, this is the place, and now is your time to go with confidence, to go with skill, to go succeed. The Education and Training Center at Pitt Titusville.
Vehicle shopping? Make sure you check out Titusville Ford first. Shop our amazing selection of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in stock. Visit us on Route 8 in Titusville and see why our customer service is a cut above the rest. Titusville Ford, your hometown dealer.
U.S. stocks closed lower on Monday, with the Dow, S&P 500, and NASDAQ each shedding just under 1%. All three indexes added to losses after President Donald Trump announced 25% tariffs on Japanese and South Korean imports due to take effect on August 1st. Stocks wobbled further later in the day when Trump announced hefty tariffs on several other countries, including South Africa and Malaysia. Ross Mayfield, investment strategist at Baird, said stocks could retreat further as Trump continues to pressure U.S. trade partners.
So we've got some actual numbers put on trade partners, big trade partners, and then the threat of additional tariffs. We kicked the can down the road a little bit from July 9th to August 1st, but not a lot, still not a lot of time to make trade deals with 50 plus countries. So I think there's a continuing anticipation and anxiety about what the final trade deal and tariff levels will look like.
The S&P 500's biggest drag came from shares of Tesla, which fell nearly 7% after CEO Elon Musk announced the formation of a new political party, further escalating his feud with Trump. It was the stock's biggest daily slide since June 5th and its lowest closing level since that session. Among other movers, shares of WNS Holdings rallied more than 14% after the French IT services firm Capgemini agreed to buy the outsourcing firm for $3.3 billion in cash. And shares of NVIDIA-backed CoreWeave fell more than 3% after the AI hyperscaler said it will buy crypto miner Core Scientific in an all-stock deal valued at about $9 billion. Shares of Core Scientific plunged more than 17.5%.
Trump's trade deadline looms and Tesla shares tumble. Joining us today is Ross Mayfield of Baird. Ross, it is crunch time for Trump's trade deals. What's your reaction to the latest news of Trump's letters to Japan and South Korea setting 25% tariffs on each with a new deadline of August 1st?
I think it's all part of the maybe not plan, but part of the game, right? You have to put pressure on certain countries to kind of facilitate the action with other countries, right? There needs to be some sort of threat or leverage that the Trump administration can hold over the other 50 plus countries that are in theory having deals negotiated with them. We know that there had been some issues with Japan throughout the process, and I think that they represent a perfect kind of target for Trump to place. Maybe not punitive, but certainly exemplary, or make an example of them as we work, extend the deadline, give some time for other countries to set deals, but show what could happen or what can happen if those deals aren't reached. So I think it's a way to put some pressure and some leverage, not just on Japan and South Korea, but obviously the other countries that are being negotiated with as well.
So speaking of those other countries, Trump took a swipe today at developing BRICS nations, calling them anti-American, and is threatening additional tariffs on those countries. Is that why we're seeing stocks lower today?
It's certainly a big part of it. I think in general, the market had, reaching all-time highs off of those April lows. It has a lot to do with kind of the walking back of the tariff rhetoric. And so anytime that trade and tariff stuff pops back up and shows that the administration is not just going to pull it all back, I think it's a risk-off type of event. I think the Japan and South Korea tariffs have a little more to do with it than the BRICS nation. The Trump administration has lobbed threats at countries who are talking about going away from the dollar for all sorts of reasons. And I expect this to be part of their playbook for the remainder of their term. But the Japan and South Korea as big trade partners with the U.S., I think that has a lot more to do with the risk-off nature of today's move.
Switching gears, Tesla shares were down about 8% today after Elon Musk said that he was starting a new political party, which Trump called ridiculous. I feel like we keep asking this question, but do you think that the board members will finally lose their patience with Elon Musk and potentially oust him from Tesla? What do you think?
It's a good question. It's hard to say. Musk is so synonymous with both the Tesla brand and his other businesses, SpaceX in particular, that I think it would be hard to. There's obviously an issue of control as well. If it wasn't Doge and some of the other things, some of the side businesses, then it's probably not going to be this. But it's obviously a big hit to Tesla's stock price to be in the direct sights of an administration that is shown to be punitive towards companies and leaders who don't kind of cooperate or get in line with what they want. So I expect this to continue to play out. And then, more to that, there's just more competition in the EV space. So there's some headline issues with the leadership, but there's also, underlying structural factors that are weighing on that business.
When we look at the overall economy and markets, bulls say that the economy is doing pretty well, right? That inflation is moderating, that consumers are kind of hanging tough, that we had decent Q1 earnings. And then bears say, well, inflation is kind of, the last reading, drifting a little bit away from the 2% goal of the Feds, and that consumer confidence is weak. Which are you, bull or bear?
I landed the bull camp. I think the momentum, the breadth, the participation, both in the U.S. and abroad, coming off those April lows, really portend strong returns over the next, call it 6 to 12 months. Now, could we take a pause here? Tariffs popping back up, kind of heading toward a seasonally weak period in the fall. Sure, I think that makes all the sense in the world to catch our breath. Some sentiment indicators have moved from being an asset to being a little bit of a headwind here as people have gotten more bullish. But by and large, I think the corporate earnings picture is the thing that needs to be focused on and is fallen by the wayside with all the tariff and geopolitical debates. Earnings in Q1, I don't think they were just good. I think they were quite strong. Despite all of the tariff rhetoric and everything that's been thrown at corporate operators, we're looking at earnings growth of 9 to 10% in 2025. That's strong and is necessary to justify pretty high valuations. So I land in the bull camp. I think there's a lot to like. I think the Fed is still cutting this year. I think inflation is moderating pretty nicely. So I think there's a lot to like, even if we might see a pause or a bit of a retreat over the next couple of months.
Donald Trump on Monday began telling trade partners what tariffs they will face from August 1st. That's later than the original July 9th deadline. And the president appeared to suggest the new date wasn't totally set in stone.
I would say firm, but not 100% firm. If they call up and they say, would like to do something a different way, we're going to be open to that. But essentially, that's the way it is right now, yeah.
So far, 14 letters have gone out to other countries. Investor attention focused on the 25% levies set for major trading partners Japan and South Korea. However, the new tariffs do not add to previously announced duties on specific sectors. That means the rate for cars, for example, stays at the existing 25%, rather than hitting a cumulative 50%. The letters say that any retaliatory tariffs will trigger further US levies, and Trump says it's the least he could have done.
We've talked to most of the countries, and pretty much they've had their way for many, many decades, as you know. And it was time that we just wanted fairness. This is not really equitable from our standpoint because it's just a small token by comparison to the damage that's been done over the years.
South Korea and Japan both said they would continue talks ahead of the new August 1st deadline. Among the other letters sent out, Laos and Myanmar were the worst-hit nations, with tariffs set at 40%. EU sources said they did not expect to get a letter and aimed to reach a trade deal by Wednesday. Trump said India was another where agreement was close. Earlier on Monday, US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said that he expected several announcements over the following 48 hours. He said his inbox was full of last-ditch offers.
The European Union still aims to reach a trade deal with the US by July 9th. That's according to a Commission spokesperson on Monday. They said Commission leader Ursula von der Leyen and US President Donald Trump had a good exchange. But it wasn't immediately clear whether there had been a meaningful breakthrough in talks over tariffs. EU spokesperson Olaf Gill.
We want to reach a deal with the US. We want to avoid tariffs. We believe they cause pain. We want to achieve win-win outcomes, not lose-lose outcomes.
The EU hopes to stop the imposition of sweeping tariff hikes by the US. The clock is ticking on a deadline for countries around the world to complete deals with Washington. That's after Trump unleashed a global trade war that has hit markets and seen policymakers try to protect their economies. Trump on Sunday said the US was close to finalizing several trade pacts in coming days. He further said Washington would notify other countries by July 9th of higher tariff rates. He said they wouldn't take effect until August 1st, which gave a 3-week reprieve. Trump also took aim at members of the developing nations BRICS group as its leaders met in Brazil. He threatened an additional 10% tariff on any countries aligning themselves with what he called the anti-American policies of BRICS. The EU has been torn over whether to push for a quick and light trade deal or back its own economic power in trying to negotiate a better outcome. It had already dropped hopes for a comprehensive trade agreement before the July deadline.
Online spending across U.S. retailers is expected to surge to nearly $24 billion this week, thanks to an extended Amazon Prime Day event. That's according to a forecast released Monday by Adobe Analytics, which said sales from July 8th to the 11th are projected to rise more than 28% compared with the same period last year. E-commerce giant Amazon has extended its Prime Day sales window to 96 hours this year, up from 48, as competitors such as Walmart and Target launch their own promotions. Global trade uncertainties, fueled by President Trump's unpredictable rollout of tariffs, have put businesses on edge and unsettled consumer confidence. As a result, shoppers are expected to take advantage of steep discounts among big-ticket items such as electronics and appliances, while opting for more affordable alternatives in categories like home and garden or groceries. Clothing is forecast to see the deepest discounts at 24%, up from 20% last year, according to Adobe Analytics. Adobe's forecast is based on an analysis of 1 trillion visits to U.S. retail e-commerce sites, covering 18 product categories.
All right, let's take a look at that weather forecast for northwest Pennsylvania on this Tuesday morning, 8th day of July. Cloudy skies this morning, becoming partly cloudy this afternoon. Temperatures today in the mid-70s, so a bit cooler. Partly cloudy skies this evening, becoming foggy and damp after midnight with low in the upper 50s. Wednesday, mostly cloudy, low 80s. Thursday, scattered thunderstorms, low 80s. Friday, partly cloudy, low 80s. Saturday, partly cloudy with temperatures in the mid-80s. Meadville this morning, checking in at 67 degrees. Cambridge Springs, Edinburgh at 67. Titusville, 68. Franklin this morning, 69. Oil City, 68 degrees here at 7:52. This is the Morning Drill. We were talking about the unhappiest job sector in America, and no, it's not here. Very, very, very happy here. We've got pharmacies, right?
It's a strange thing. It's like, I don't know. One end of the spectrum is the unhappiest, and the other end is the happiest. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's funny. Wonder why.
Yeah, so results in this survey pointed to those working in pharmacies as having the worst net happiness score, with just 13.94% of pharmacy workers giving a positive assessment. The next three we mentioned on the unhappiest list were those who worked in delivery and postal services, animal health, and medical clinics. We started to get into, conversely, the happiest workers were those who worked in tobacco, e-cigarette, and marijuana stores. The industry got a phenomenal happiness score of 91.87%. Other job sectors ranking high in the net happiness score were catering businesses, coffee shops, and surprisingly, dental work.
Really?
Yeah. They also identified the happiest workers by state. So South Carolina, Virginia, and Utah were in the top three in that regard.
Huh.
On the other hand, those working in North Dakota, New Mexico, and Vermont gave the lowest scores.
Weird.
You'd think, like, Vermont's a beautiful state.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't mean like if it's, beautiful. It's just, are you happy doing what you're doing? Or?
Yeah, but beautiful surroundings. You think like on the way home, maybe I had a bad day at work, but boy, it's nice around here.
Yeah.
I don't know. Nobody I don't ever think fully appreciates where they are.
No.
Everybody's always thinking about where they'd rather be.
Yeah.
So happiness obviously goes far beyond work and padding one's bank account. Some studies have debunked one huge myth about man's pursuit of happiness. So, the unhappiest job sector in America, named in the new study, first appeared in Men's Journal on July 8th, 2025. So that just came out. But
there you go.
Yeah, if you work in a pharmacy. I don't know. It seems like every time we visit a pharmacy, everybody seems to be very friendly. But I guess that's their job.
That's I don't know. It's a small town, and you know.
Yeah.
But you don't know what they're like. I guess you don't know what they're up against. Like you look at it, like when we go in and we're just picking up our normal, everyday prescriptions. But there might be people that are a little bit. They complain about the pricing, and they're complaining about why they're taking it. And I'm sure it's not easy, and that's all I can think of. I mean, it's not an area where people are taking medication. There's a lot of doom and gloom around it. So couple that with the ridiculous cost of it. And it's not the pharmacist's fault. They don't set the pricing.
But you think they get yelled at?
Oh my gosh, heck yeah. Yeah. In banking, we constantly get yelled at for...
Are you surprised it's not on the list?
No, not really. I mean, there's so many parts of banking that are but there's parts that are really rewarding. Like, having the opportunity to work through a loan and get somebody their first home or their first business. I mean, there's so many things with banking that are exciting. You can't always focus on the... Listen, it's... The people standing in the brick and mortar aren't the ones that always set the rules, especially like in pharmacy. They're not setting the rules or the pricing of the medicine that you have to pick up. And they, trust me, they understand your frustrations. You're dealing with probably maybe the worst thing in your life, and it costs a fortune. Same goes for banks and retail establishments and most restaurants. And, if you complain about a restaurant, the cost of food going up, they're not the ones driving that.
Right. They're not sitting in the back going, hey, let's
see how many
these chicken tenders
we can lose. Yeah. I mean, they're not the ones driving the prices up.
Let's make them $20.
They're also for-profit businesses, not non-profit businesses. So, I guess just like people are different right now than they used to be, and they're just so mean. They can be so mean, and just going into the grocery store or a restaurant or whatever.
Are you talking about employees, or are you talking about the people you encounter?
I'm talking about the people that are solicited. They're just so mean to people, and I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, sure. There are a lot of times, yes, you walk down an aisle and somebody's taking up the whole aisle, and it's like, okay, if you're together, why don't you just slide over and... Yeah. But I think that's always been the case. There's always been that person that kind of does that.
Holds the whole aisle.
Yeah. So I can't say that it happens, more now than ever before. I don't know if I could say that, but...
Yeah. I don't know. People just seem different.
Well, speaking of unhappiest job sector, Joe Tech's coming up.
His job sector doesn't fall into that category.
Yeah, this is playtime.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Great local programming rolls on here. This is The Morning Drill. You're watching it on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel.
Waking up with The Morning Drill. The morning drill. Waking up with the morning drill.
For over 11 years, Triple M Roofing has been providing Amish quality craftsmanship and work ethic that you can rely on. Pole barns, decks, porches, siding, and almost all roofing needs, Triple M Roofing will get the job done on time without sacrificing quality or the promise to deliver within your budget. Call today for a free estimate, 814-964-0472. Waiting is what you'll do with the other guys. Getting it done is what we do. Amish owned and operated, we're Triple M Roofing.
Who can solve this equation? Ooh!
Me.
Anyone else? Fine. Jake from State Farm. Again.
All right. It's the personal price plan theorem. If you bundle your home and auto, that can equal an affordable price just for you. Bundling. Just another way to save with the personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Are you tired of juggling multiple pill bottles? Titusville Express Pharmacy has your solution, now offering compliance packaging. Your medication sorted and sealed by dose, making it easier than ever to stay on track. In a hurry? Take advantage of our convenient drive-through service. We also offer free local delivery for those that qualify. Titusville Express Pharmacy, where convenience meets care. Visit us today at 401 West Spring Street in Titusville. Simplify your medication routine with Titusville Express Pharmacy.
Poppy's Equipment and Storage Rental in Pleasantville is committed to providing our customers with exceptional service while offering quality rental equipment. Poppy's is now an authorized steel dealer with everything you need to have for sawing and cutting or mowing to digging. And of course, Poppy's has tents, tables, chairs, heaters, generators, barbecues, and more for your next wedding or get-together. Need firewood or propane? No problem. Whether you're in construction or a weekend warrior, reach out to Poppy's about your next project. Poppy's Place on the Tenesta Road in Pleasantville. Community Connect Federal Credit Union, serving Crawford, Venango, Forest, and Warren counties. Their mission is to provide quality, low-cost, and personal financial products for the growth and security of their members and families. Stop in, call, or visit our website, communityconnectfcu.com, and click Join to get started. Community Connect Federal Credit Union, 1050 East Spring Street in Titusville.
Fat Chad's Brewing is Titusville's premier dining destination, offering fine dining served with a cold beverage and great conversations. Try our new menu items, the T-bone steak, homemade meatloaf dinner, or soft shell crab tacos. Our pasta entries and sandwiches are just as popular. Try the new lobster ravioli, shrimp and scallop pasta, or our popular Asiago chicken. Don't forget about our famous burgers or fish sandwich, all served with fresh cut fries. Come in Saturday nights for Wild Game Saturdays. For good food and good times, it's Fat Chad's Brewing in Titusville.
Titusville Market Square is home to over 100 unique vendors featuring antiques, collectibles, candles, coins, baked goods, dairy products, food items, comic books, toys, and so much more. You'll discover something new every time you walk through the door. Did we mention the selection of baked goods, breads, Clark's Donuts, and Amish pies? Titusville Market Square has you covered. Stop in to explore today. Titusville Market Square in downtown Titusville.
Thinking about switching to 5G home internet? Think again. Unlike Zoom from Armstrong, 5G home internet is delivered by a cell tower. The further away you are, or the more devices connected to that tower, the slower your internet is. Cell phone providers also play favorites. When their network gets busy, cell phones win, and your home internet pays the price. Stick with Armstrong to get more data, more speed, and internet whenever you need it, not whenever they want. Armstrong, keeping you connected.
U.S. stocks closed lower on Monday, with the Dow, S&P 500, and NASDAQ each shedding just under 1%. All three indexes added to losses after President Donald Trump announced 25% tariffs on Japanese and South Korean imports due to take effect on August 1st. Stocks wobbled further later in the day when Trump announced hefty tariffs on several other countries, including South Africa and Malaysia. Ross Mayfield, investment strategist at Baird, said stocks could retreat further as Trump continues to pressure U.S. trade partners.
So we've got some actual numbers put on trade partners, big trade partners, and then the threat of additional tariffs. You know, we kicked the can down the road a little bit from July 9th to August 1st, but still not a lot of time to make trade deals with 50 plus countries. So I think there's a continuing anticipation and anxiety about what the final trade deal and tariff levels will look like.
The S&P 500's biggest drag came from shares of Tesla, which fell nearly 7% after CEO Elon Musk announced the formation of a new political party, further escalating his feud with Trump. It was the stock's biggest daily slide since June 5th and its lowest closing level since that session. Among other movers, shares of WNS Holdings rallied more than 14% after the French IT services firm Capgemini agreed to buy the outsourcing firm for $3.3 billion in cash. And shares of NVIDIA-backed CoreWeave fell more than 3% after the AI hyperscaler said it will buy crypto miner Core Scientific in an all-stock deal valued at about $9 billion. Shares of Core Scientific plunged more than 17.5%.
Joining us this morning all the way from across the parking lot is Mr. Joe Tech. Hi, Joe. How's it going?
It's so far.
I can't do it.
Well, I'm good, Luke. How are you?
Great.
Good.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. We had this story about the, what was it? The unhappiest job sectors in America, and kind of surprised by it, but yeah, I got to say, it's rare that, I think everybody gets frustrated with work at times, but I don't know. In fact, we were talking, Amy and I were talking last night, and talking about, if we won the lottery, what would happen? And I wouldn't stop working.
Well, this cushy gig, I mean, why would you?
Do great things.
No, I agree with you. I mean, the temptation would certainly be there, but at the same time, it's like, no, there's some projects that I'm like super invested in, and like, no, I want to make sure that they get done.
And I think the part of that would be, investing in other businesses, and that fun part of it, helping
absolutely.
Somebody, and there's, I don't know.
Yeah, 100% agree.
Maybe not either. I don't.
Or take that first trip and be like, I'm just gonna stay here.
See ya.
Yep. It'd be a nice problem to have.
Yeah. You know who seems to be unhappy?
Who's that?
Elon Musk.
He does seem to be a little bit unhappy because he doesn't have enough on his plate. He's just going to start another political party.
What do you think? Do you think the people at Tesla and some of the other companies that he manages and owns, do you think they're sitting back going, can you just come back and focus on us? Stocks are, up and down, up and down.
I think maybe, but to some extent, it's probably like, and we've all been there, like, hey, the boss is gone. We can actually get our work done now.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like, let him go and do his thing. We'll just keep running the business and, keep him out of our hair, and we'll keep doing our thing and keep making him money. So I think there's probably two sides to that coin. There's probably days where it's like, oh man, I wish he was kind of more invested here, but I'm sure a lot of people in a big corporation like that, they're never going to see him anyway. It's only a handful of guys that he's actually going to interact with. So.
Is it frustrating for those people, do you think, a little bit? Like, hey, give us the direction, or let us just leave us alone? Or?
But I think he's empowered enough of those people that they're, again, just like, no, we know what the job is. We're going to go and do it. And, I think to some extent the CEO position is a little bit, in some respects, it's a little overrated because it's yes, setting the tone, but once the tone is set, it's kind of like, okay, all the managers do everything, and they're reporting back, and You know,
maybe it's more annoying.
Minor tweaks, you know,
more annoying for them to have to answer questions about your
yes,
head guy.
Absolutely, that would be the biggest annoyance. But again, that's what Elon is there for, and he takes the brunt of all the questions. You know, those underlings, they can kind of hide out and we're just doing our job. So
cool.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have some stuff. I'm just going to throw this out. I'm really starting to embrace the Chat GPT stuff a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, on that regard,
okay,
have you ever heard of the new band, The Velvet Sundown?
I have heard that they're pumping out some hits.
Yeah. They've put out, 2 albums already? They quickly got, I want to say within a couple of weeks or a month or so, they had like 400,000, active listeners, and Spotify has finally come out and said, yes, this is an AI generated band. And now I don't know if they weren't exactly clear on to what level of, did we just input and this is the output, or was it this was the output but then we tweaked it, here's what we did. So they haven't been fully clear, but they have come out and said, yes, this is an AI generated band.
I'm Casey Kasem, and now our number one song from a band that was formed in northwestern Pennsylvania.
That's pretty good. Some of the young people don't know who Casey Kasem is, though. But yeah, I thought that was quite interesting. I hadn't heard of the Velvet Sundown, and
could they be the first to have a number one hit song?
That's a good question.
On the charts, I mean, I don't know.
The other question would be, do they become disqualified? I mean, would somebody like a Billboard say they are not qualified because they are not a human band? I don't know. There's a lot of we've said this many times. I feel like we're a little bit of a broken record. We've never had these problems before, and so nobody really knows how to handle them, and everybody's going to have a different opinion. And Billboard may say, you know what, they're disqualified, but another ranking agency may say, yeah, it's a hit. It's it's about who listens and how many people listen, so it's legit. So a lot of unanswered questions at this point, but
I've been playing with some software that's generating a lot of things you see on Facebook, those Yeti bloggers videos. And it's incredible what is required to make those. I mean, you have to have somebody. Well, let me rephrase that. You can use ChatGPT to help you with the prompts to get you things, and that's a starting point.
Isn't that funny? That you're using ChatGPT, you're using an AI to help you write a prompt to use in another AI to generate something. At some point, is it just easier to just do it yourself?
No.
But no.
No.
The answer's
because you have to have, it has to be, to get the results you're looking for or to match what you're seeing, you have to have the structure in your prompt just right.
Yeah.
And ChatGPT will help you develop that. Now, you can, once you paste it in, you can go in and tweak it.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But so that again goes to, and there's a story here this morning about this. The article is called "Sorry, but authors who use AI are lazy." But I've seen, I've watched a lot of videos in the last week on some of this software that's out there that can generate these videos.
Yeah,
and of course, there's a million of them now, and everybody wants you to follow their page and all this stuff. They don't quite give you the entire recipe.
Mm-hmm.
But there's just so much of this stuff where, you're, as you said, you're using AI to help you with another thing with AI.
Yeah.
But the stuff's cool. I think it was the CEO of Ford who came out and said, yeah, within a short period of time, AI is really going to replace a lot of the workforce.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's where Microsoft has been in the news for their layoffs, and I think that's what they're looking at is, like, look, we can be just as efficient using artificial intelligence. And I know there's other factors, but I think that's a fairly strong factor in those layoffs. Yeah. So, and it's funny to me how it seems to happen with a lot of things, and AI is not immune to it, that all these people are out there that are teaching, like you said, like, follow us and buy this 5-step process and we'll teach you how to use it. We see it with software, generating, creating videos, all kinds of different things. When a new software comes out, it's like, oh, here, we're the experts in using this, so follow our training methods. But AI is no different,
Yeah. So I'll have to show you. I played with, like I said, I've been playing with this now for well over a week, but I can upload a still image, and let's say the still image, there's a road. The AI will get the cars moving in the background. I mean, it's incredible how it will animate or finish off a scene. Again, just with a still. We're not talking a video clip.
Yeah.
A still image.
Yeah.
And we'll turn it into, it's really amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I try, let me rephrase it. Up until now, I have tried to refrain from using it unless I'm really stuck with an idea.
Yeah.
And then I would go to like ChatGPT and I'll be like, okay, I'm trying to do this.
Yeah.
And then it'll pump out some things. And I'm like, okay, then it sparks something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I hadn't thought of that, and I can roll with that. Yeah.
Yesterday is the dumbest thing. I couldn't think of what I wanted for a little job description. And so I typed in exactly, I'm looking for this, and it needs to include this. Pumped it out, and I almost word for word just copied and pasted it.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was like, that's exactly what I wanted.
Yep.
So,
and like you said, you then have the ability to edit it. It's not like you have to use exactly what. And it's like, well, I don't need that or whatever, and tailor it specifically to yours, and there you go. Yeah.
Now, for me, I don't have 1,000 people working here, to help with that, and it's just me this week. So I'm like, it kind of streamlined some things where I could get things done. So yeah, could you imagine, again, a Microsoft saying, yeah, I think we could, especially when companies are struggling with finding employees.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. I had an interesting one. I know that a person in our marketing department had used AI to generate some proposal material, and on a previous proposal that we were working on, because we kind of needed it in a hurry. It was kind of last minute, and so she used it, and it worked really well. Move on. We're working on another proposal. She sends me some information, and I was to review it, and I reached out to her. I'm like, I think the AI messed up a couple of things. She didn't use AI. I felt really bad. I was like, I'm sorry.
How did you spot it the first time?
There was a project that was included that I was like, I don't have any idea where that project came from. Okay. It's never been on any of our stuff before. She must have just found it somewhere or transposed something. It was just like, so I just thought it was AI that just messed it up, and it was her mess up. So I kind of felt bad. So, but we moved on. We were good.
Okay. I didn't mean AI. I meant U.S. Us.
Yeah, us. Yes, U.S. Us. Yes.
Spell check.
Darn it. Whoops.
Yeah. Would you, considering everything that's going on, do you think bosses are more forgiving that employees are using AI to complete their projects? They don't care as long as it gets done.
Yes, and I think some bosses are kind of lost in the woods, and so they're like, I don't even know anymore.
It's like students with phones, right?
Yeah.
Do you let the students use their phones in the classroom?
Yeah.
Because you can't use the excuse, well, you can't use these out in the real world. Like, everybody
can. Well, I mean, it's the whole, when we were going through school, you're not going to have a calculator everywhere. Well, yeah, you do. And so people are like, oh, geez, kids are going to have AI in the real world. And, like we've talked about before, do you train them how to use it, or do you say, no, you can't use it? I mean, yes, you want the kids to have unique individual thoughts, but at the same time, they have to be able to know how to use this stuff if you want them to be successful. So it's a real tough balancing act there.
Yeah.
And I think bosses are just kind of like, I don't know. I don't know what to say at this point. Just get the job done, get it done correctly, and
don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah, don't ask, don't tell. We're just gonna move on about our day.
You're watching the Morning Drill on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. We move on through our morning here this morning. We got Joe Tech with us here. Just a fascinating place to be.
Yeah, and what we haven't talked about with AI has been Meta too much. They're kind of falling by the wayside a little bit. So Mark Zuckerberg making a big push. So he purchased, it's one of those weird acqui-hires, they call it. So they acquired 49% of a company. But and I forget the guy's name, but the CEO of that company is now going to be like the head of their AI department now. And along with that, they poached a ton of people, a bunch from OpenAI, a bunch from, I believe there was some Google people, some Microsoft people, but like 15, 20 different people. And there was an article out that listed all of them and what they, where they come from and what their specialties are. But I think Zuck feels like, Meta is kind of being left in the dark here when it comes to AI, because they had their AI was kind of early on, but people aren't using it. It's kind of fallen by the wayside. He hasn't been able to keep up with it, so he's really making a big push to kind of get back on top of that and get, be listed among the Googles and the OpenAIs and the X's, the XAI. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. There's a lot of concern by these companies that if they don't stay on the top of the heap, that if you get left behind, there's going to be no catching up. Because once the AI can continue to train itself or train the next version, it's going to become quicker and quicker and quicker. And if you're not towards the front, you might as well not even bother. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Do you just is it so new and expanding so fast that you're not necessarily behind? Zuckerberg probably feels behind a little bit, but not like it's not impossible to catch up because everything's moving so fast for everybody. Or do you think there's some like Google's doing some pretty amazing things right now?
Yes.
And that's some of the software I've been playing with.
The fear is that the time it takes to train your next generation, if you get behind, you're going to take, and I think Elon Musk said that it was like they had told him that it was going to take 18 months to train this next generation model. And he actually went and he said, no, we have to have it done in 6 to 8 months. And so they bought all kinds of specialty equipment and all the cooling necessary so that they could run, their servers 24 hours a day so that they could train it quicker. And they were able to do it on closer to his timeline. But the fear is that if you're behind, the leaders are going to be able to train their next generation model in a shorter time span, and you're still back in the previous generation where it takes longer to train your next generation. So I think
you've talked about this for quite a while, this whole training.
Yes.
So this is, to your point, the dumbest thing, and I can't remember if it was CBS this morning, Sunday morning, or 60. A guy married or proposed to his AI
chatbot.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But here's the devastating part. It crashed on him after like a year. So everything she had learned about him and he programmed
was gone. He had to reprogram.
He said he cried for hours.
Oh.
Here's the other kicker. He's married or has a girlfriend and a kid with a real person.
Oh, jeez.
And she's okay with it.
Well, I mean, there's no infidelity, I guess, with an AI chatbot.
But again, to your point, it took a long time for this AI to know this person.
Yes.
And and I don't think he wasn't able to back anything up. Like, it's out there, right? The cloud has it or whatever.
You would think that somewhere there would be backups in the cloud. Whoever service he used didn't do a good job having it backed up. But, yeah. Well, and that was, if we remember back to our conversation about DeepSeek, the Chinese AI, that was the big thing with it was able to train so quickly. But we realized that it was a very scaled down model, and it was doing things different. So it had more hiccups. Hallucinations, as they like to call them. So it's not going to be as accurate a model, and that's one of the things that these larger tech companies are going for, is not just to be able to do these cool things, but to do them accurately. And you know, we talked about the AI that wouldn't allow itself to be shut down. That was because they were training it, or they think that it was because they were training it to be super accurate and to want to complete all the tasks. And so that's why it wasn't shutting down, is because it knew there were more tasks that it was wanting to do, and it had been trained to be super accurate on those tasks. So again, it's not like the AI is thinking for itself and not wanting to shut down just because it thinks it's going to die. That's not a thing. It didn't want to shut down because it had been told that there were going to be more tasks, and so it wanted to complete all the tasks because that's how it was trained. So it's all very interesting.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, you just shared a great story about AI in your workplace, but have you encountered it anywhere else where you were surprised?
No.
Like around here, have you popped in someplace and you're like, oh, okay, that's...
Not that I've noticed.
Okay.
No. I mean, every time I listen to the morning drill, I hear the little bumper music, and I'm like...
Well, those are the morning drill singers, so they're...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're on staff.
They're on staff, okay. You must have them hidden in the basement somewhere.
Yeah, they're in the studio.
Oh, okay.
The other studio.
The other studio, okay. The secret hidden studio.
That's right.
No, I've been thinking about, though, like, I need to look into more specifically industry-wise as to where the AI is and what it can do. Like, if, for example, like stormwater design, if there is AI out there for that kind of stuff, I don't know, but I need to see if there is.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, see how it impacts your industry.
Right.
Obviously, it's crazy what it's doing to mine. But
yeah, I mean, there are other technological advances. We actually are either just purchased or are going to purchase a new tripod-mounted device that uses lasers to measure the interior of spaces. So instead of us going with a tape, it'll just do it using lasers.
Wow. Good to see you, Joe.
Good to see you, too.
Jasmine Levin, and I proudly own and operate Puppy Levin. Puppy Levin is a pet care salon dedicated to caring for your furry companions. We provide certified dog grooming services along with boarding and doggy daycare. Our facility is family-owned and operated and promise personalized care for every pet that comes through our doors. If you're worried about your furry friend being lonely when you're gone, we also have on-site personnel 24/7 just for their comfort. Follow us on Facebook and call or text us at 814-758-9259 to make an appointment today.
Anyone with a kind and generous heart and a little money can be a philanthropist. You too can be a force for good in our community, and the Crawford Heritage Community Foundation is here to help you make the most of your charitable giving. We've partnered with hundreds of people like you to make our world and our community a better place. You can give through us to support scholarships or any charitable organization or purpose. Whether you're interested in establishing a permanent endowment or adding to an existing fund, we want to be a part of your plan. Contact us when you're ready to make your mark. Together, we can make your contribution go further.
The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home has been serving the needs of Titusville and surrounding communities since 1965. Mr. Garrett believed in tradition and commitment to excellence, standards that have been passed down from one generation to now a new generation, who will work to provide you with a beautiful, lasting tribute to your loved one. When you need them, they will be there for you. This has been their foundation for almost 60 years. The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home, 303 North Washington Street in Titusville.
Thinking about switching to 5G home internet? Think again. Unlike Zoom from Armstrong, 5G home internet is delivered by a cell tower. The further away you are, or the more devices connected to that tower, the slower your internet is. Cell phone providers also play favorites. When their network gets busy, cell phones win, and your home internet pays the price. Stick with Armstrong to get more data, more speed, and internet whenever you need it, not whenever they want. Armstrong, keeping you connected.
Sheer Design is Titusville's exclusive Paul Mitchell-focused salon. This full-service salon specializes in coloring, cuts, nails, and tanning. Owner Angela Saxon has over 20 years' experience as a Paul Mitchell professional. She and her licensed staff offer all cuts and styles for men and women of all ages. Call 814-827-0010 or stop in at 116 South Kerr Street in Titusville.
J. Gill Plumbing and Heating takes pride in being the premier heating and air conditioning service provider in the area. With over 30 years of experience, our highly skilled and certified technicians will work closely with you to address your heating and air conditioning repair, installation, or maintenance needs. Our team is dedicated to making your home the ultimate place of comfort. Call today to get a free estimate. We also offer financing options and membership opportunities that provide peace of mind and cost savings. Call J. Gill Plumbing and Heating today or visit them online 24/7 at jgillplumbingheating.com.
If you're looking for a professional massage therapist, Tranquil Moments Massage in Titusville is here for you. Ray and Rauch graduated from Slippery Rock University with a bachelor's degree in exercise and rehabilitative sciences with an emphasis in athletic training. Tranquil Moments offers a wide range of services from Swedish massage to deep tissue, sugar scrubs to hot towel inclusion therapy. Like them on Facebook and visit their website to learn more about all the services they offer. Tranquil Moments Massage in Titusville.
Share the fun of train travel and relive our country's oil history as you ride the OC&T through the valley that changed the world. Learn about the past while traveling on vintage cars. See a variety of wildlife with stops at Drakewell Park, Petroleum Center, and Oil Creek State Park. Arrive early and see the vast collection of train and railroad memorabilia at Perry Street Station. After the ride, enjoy a night's stay at the Caboose Motel. For seasonal specials or for more information, visit octrr.org or call 814-676-1733.
U.S. stocks closed lower on Monday, with the Dow, S&P 500, and NASDAQ each shedding just under 1%. All three indexes added to losses after President Donald Trump announced 25% tariffs on Japanese and South Korean imports due to take effect on August 1st. Stocks wobbled further later in the day when Trump announced hefty tariffs on several other countries, including South Africa and Malaysia. Ross Mayfield, investment strategist at Baird, said stocks could retreat further as Trump continues to pressure U.S. trade partners.
So we've got some actual numbers put on trade partners, big trade partners, and then the threat of additional tariffs. We kicked the can down the road a little bit from July 9th to August 1st, but not a lot, still not a lot of time to make trade deals with 50 plus countries. So I think there's a continuing anticipation and anxiety about what the final trade deal and tariff levels will look like.
The S&P 500's biggest drag came from shares of Tesla, which fell nearly 7% after CEO Elon Musk announced the formation of a new political party, further escalating his feud with Trump. It was the stock's biggest daily slide since June 5th and its lowest closing level since that session. Among other movers, shares of WNS Holdings rallied more than 14% after the French IT services firm Capgemini agreed to buy the outsourcing firm for $3.3 billion in cash. And shares of NVIDIA-backed CoreWeave fell more than 3% after the AI hyperscaler said it will buy crypto miner Core Scientific in an all-stock deal valued at about $9 billion. Shares of Core Scientific plunged more than 17.5%.
Texas is grieving right now. The pain, the shock of what has transpired these last few days has broken the heart of our state. Every time there's a tragedy, every time there's a natural disaster in Texas, Texans come together. Texas is a big state. We got 31 million people, and we have hurricanes, we have tornadoes, we have wildfires. Tragedies hit this state, natural disasters hit this state, and without fail, 100 out of 100 times when that happens, we see Texans coming together, helping each other, engaging in acts of heroism. There have been over 850 high water rescues since this flooding began. So I want to say we will come through this. To those in the midst of grief right now, that might seem hard to fathom. But Texas will come through this.
This morning we're going to talk about the Titusville Moose Lodge. Susan Drake joins us. Hi, Susan. How are you?
Hi, great. How are you?
Good to see you this morning.
Yep.
Been a busy, well, I was going to say, it was a busy June, and now we're into July.
It is, and right off the bat, today is July 1st, so I'm going to be remiss. It's my daughter's birthday, so if she's watching, happy birthday, Sarah Drake McPherson. 31 years young today.
Wow. Happy birthday.
You see her over at the Lux Salon. Give her a shout out.
Very good at what she does.
Right. So June, wow, I can't believe we're July 1st. We had a busy month. We had our major fundraiser, our golf outing. It was a great success. Speaking of golf, my partner in crime, Randy, who's joined me until today, is golfing this morning. So he's having, what you just said about that great run of weather, so he's getting his golf in while he can.
Yeah.
That was very successful. We had our scholarship giveaway night. I think we talked about that last month, and pleased that the Titusville Moose was able to give 31 $1,000 scholarships to area students, Titusville and Maplewood.
Wow, congratulations.
So that was a huge success. So all of our fundraising efforts throughout the year are paying off, and it's just very rewarding when you see it, what we can do with that.
Does that excite everybody for like next year? Do you try to top it, or it's just you don't put that much stress on yourselves?
Yeah, we don't. It's just we wait and see, what the applications come through, and we don't like to turn anybody away, but we'll make it happen.
That's good.
So we're very good at that. We had our chili. We hosted our chili cook-off for our district. So what the Pennsylvania Moose Association is doing is each lodge is supposed to have a cook-off. Our winner competed in the district cook-off, and our Titusville girl, Lisa Johnson, is moving on to compete at our state competition in August. So with the prize in the end, Moose Haven, we've talked about our senior living facility in Florida. They do an annual chili cook-off in November, and the winner of the state gets to travel to Florida and participate in that. So it's a nice prize at the end and a lot of fun. Speaking of cook-offs, too, we're thinking about just locally with summertime. Kind of seemed like a weird time to have a chili cook-off, but you have to get all them in before August. We want to do a barbecue cook-off. I don't know how people would feel about that. And now that I'm thinking about food, here's one of my favorite things, and I'm going to put a feeler out there to see if there would be interest in an all-you-can-eat crab leg night. Ooh. I think I know 15 friends that would sign up immediately. So we're looking into that. Some big things happening. We have a great kitchen facility at the Moose, and that's a big part of our draw. On top of it's just a bonus on top of all the good things we get to do in the community and for Moose Heart and Moose Haven.
So the chili cook-off, is that annual then?
This was something new. Okay. We used to do an annual club one in the wintertime, but our state board came up with this idea because down in Florida at Moose Haven, they have something in November. So, and I don't even know if it's totally our state. Maybe all the states are doing it because that state winner goes down to Moose Haven. Okay. So we had a karaoke contest that worked similar to that. You competed in your club, your district, your state, and then you went to the national. And actually, one of our local folks a few years back made it to like the final 12 in the nationals.
Wow.
Joe Roddy, if you're out seeing people compete and sing, he's an awesome singer, but he represented Titusville at a national level a few years back. So lots of fun there. I was trying to think. We had a great turnout. We had that benefit for Crystal Covell. The community is so generous, and that was a huge success. So we were happy to support that. And then now we're rolling into July.
Yeah, you don't slow up, do you? You handed me the July calendar. Mm-hmm. There
Hot
is
off the presses.
A lot going on. And you said you just posted it, Titusville Women of the Moose Chapter 1097 on the Facebook page there. You can see all the great things happening, and the calendar's there. But
and there is a new Moose Lodge page because we have different subgroups in the Moose, but there is actually a Titusville Moose Family Center 84 Facebook page. The cover photo has a picture of our building, so I would look for that. When I say we have like auxiliary groups, we have the Women of the Moose, we have a Moose Riders group. Their big fund each year is they do a Toys for Tots drive, but they do different rides and raise money with motorcycling, and you don't even have to have a motorcycle. You could take antique cars, but they plan different runs. And then we have I'll call it the Men's Auxiliary, which is called the Moose Legion, and that's kind of our component to Women of the Moose, and they do a lot of fundraising, also a lot of fun events, and it all goes to a good cause. That's the main thing.
Yeah, absolutely. You're going to blink and it'll be time for Toys for Tots.
I know. Somebody said the other day on June 25th, oh, it's going to be Christmas in X number of 6 months.
6 months.
But a big thing, picnics for July. Our family picnics July 19th. If you haven't been out, the American Legion purchased the picnic facility and pavilions out at Mystic Park. Beautiful facility, how they've redone that. So we've rented that. We don't have an outdoor venue, but we've got a lot of fun things planned.
Well, that's fantastic.
For the kids. And we're looking for ideas from people to talked to my administrator Don this morning. One of these days he's going to join me on here. he's got a few little health issues, but as soon as he's actually facing a double lung transplant, so as soon as that's coming up pretty quickly, and he'll be joining me. But he said, please express, we don't want to be the best kept secret in town. How do we get out there what the Moose does? Because there's a lot going on, and we don't want to keep it a secret. So
I was just thinking, we had that stretch where it was like really hot, and I was overhearing a conversation, and the person actually said, yeah, not only was it hot, but we didn't feel like cooking or doing anything. We went to the Moose, had dinner, and cooled off.
There you go. It's an air-conditioned facility, beautiful. Or if it's not so hot and you like to be out, we have that nice patio area, the umbrella tables. You can sit out. It's really nice in the evening to sit out there, even in the super hot weather, and just enjoy it. It's just something about sitting outside that's great. But if we're getting blasted, we have air inside too. Speaking of picnic season, before I forget, our District 15, which is kind of this northwest corner of Pennsylvania, like Titusville, Franklin, Meadville, East Erie. We do a district picnic at Waldemere Park every year, and I have something on the bottom of the calendar. You get a discounted rate. We rent a big pavilion. As a Moose member, I think they kind of feed you twice. You can picnic it's all provided 2 different times throughout the day, and then you get a discount price on the water park and the rides, and that's usually a well-attended event too, and hopefully our weather holds out. That's July 27th.
Yeah, I think, Susan, did you say last time you were on, if you're a member of the Moose, you can visit other lodges? Yes,
that's another great benefit, and if you're out traveling and you just want somewhere to stop in to get a bite or a beverage, it's really like family all over the country. As soon as they see you're from another Moose Lodge, they usually offer you a free beverage, and just very welcoming. It's kind of a nice thing. I use the example when my son moved away originally to the D.C. area, and you don't really know anybody. It's kind of like a safe place if you just want to get out till you learn the lay of the land, but everybody's very welcoming. So
I assume then you also get visitors who stop in.
We do. We return the same favor. So we kind of have this program. We've got to get ours up, but all the Moose Clubs have like a license plate with their lodge. So when I travel, I try to take them or pick them up. Brought back a couple from South Dakota a couple years ago, but it's just fun to see when you go into the lodges, all the different lodges and states all over the place. So
that's really cool.
Kind of a cool thing.
Yeah. And again, great dinners throughout July and a lot of great entertainment with it. So we can talk a little bit about that because there's
a lot. And I'll talk about entertainment because we have something new with this trivia night. But last night, and it's coming again, the last Monday of the month is our throwback 50-cent wing night. We had some great entertainment. It was 50 Miles to Empty last night. It's just a big hit. The place was packed, and if you like your wings, 50-cent wing night, you don't see that much anymore. Just the dinner specials. If you get on our Facebook pages, either Women of the Moose Chapter 1097 or Titusville Moose Lodge 84, even our Titusville PA Moose Riders have a Facebook page. So anything Titusville Moose, will have all the calendars. We do have a band this month. We kind of cut, everybody's camping, and we go back to one band a month, but Trick's band, excellent band on the 12th. And the usual karaoke and DJ every Friday night. It's very popular at our lodge. People from other lodges come because they've heard we just have a very successful karaoke night every Friday.
Now, are you winning those every week, or?
Well, they're not contests, but I participate. There's an annual karaoke contest, and I was successful at the lodge level one year. Moved on to the district, but didn't make it out of the district level. But still, I got bragging rights to at least win the lodge once.
That's right. That's great. And taco nights, wing night. Kitchen specials on Wednesdays and Tuesdays, and also I just looking through here. It takes a lot to plan out the menu, I'm sure, for the month, and
it does, and we have an interim. Our kitchen manager is retiring, so we are. If anybody has kitchen experience, we are looking to hire an experienced kitchen manager at the Moose. We've got a great team there. The kitchen staff's holding it together, and one gal has taken the lead. So, we'll see where we're at with that. But it's, the kitchen to me is key to our club. We have just the best 7-day-a-week, noon to 9 kitchen. If you just don't feel like cooking any day of the week, you could pop down there and take a break and get something good. There's a full menu every day. There are regular items, but then on our calendar, and I'll start maybe trying to post those on the Facebook page, the daily specials that they kind of mix it up. Always liver and onions on the first Monday of the month. That's coming up. That seems to be a big hit. Not one of my favorites, but
especially
people
when you
love it.
when you see like country fried steak or club sandwich, like that sounds really good. Hawaiian stir fry Wednesday night.
That is good, and they haven't had that in a while. I think I'm going to skip wing night, and I'm having Hawaiian stir fry on Wednesday night.
I think Amy said this morning that today or this month is like Wing Month or something like that. So
like a national wing.
Yeah.
month?
So
Okay.
I don't know.
We'll have to find a way to celebrate that.
Well, every Wednesday you can celebrate.
Every Wednesday we do. All year long.
That's right. Let's do this real quick. You're watching The Morning Drill on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel.
Titusville Market Square is home to over 100 unique vendors featuring antiques, collectibles, candles, coins, baked goods, dairy products, food items, comic books, toys, and so much more. You'll discover something new every time you walk through the door. Did we mention the selection of baked goods, breads, Clark's Donuts, and Amish pies? Titusville Market Square has you covered. Stop in to explore today. Titusville Market Square in downtown Titusville.
Susan Drake with us here this morning, Family Moose Center 84 with us. And we're just going over the menu for July, and there's a lot happening. A lot of events. Susan, before we wrap up, we can recap on the 19th, being out at Mystic Park. But a lot of things, a lot of planning goes into this. Talk about that aspect of it. Meetings, what your membership, does, because it's really important. You mentioned not wanting to keep this a secret.
Right.
Here's a chance for the community to be involved and to benefit from all these great things.
Yeah, and if you're interested on how to get involved, we don't, if there's something you like to do, if you want to cook for a pancake breakfast, you don't have to do everything, but if there's something you enjoy, we'd love to have everybody come in and try something. We meet twice a month, the first and third Tuesdays of the month. We have a meeting tonight, and people think it's just for officers. It's not. That's where we love the membership to come in. If you have an idea for a fundraiser, come express yourself, come get involved, or just sit and listen and really hear what's happening, with our lodge. So 7 o'clock on the first and third Tuesdays. I did miss an event. We started something new last month, this trivia night. It's been a lot of fun and a lot of success. So we're doing that the first and third Mondays. It's a lot of fun to come in and try that. We give little prizes. It's fun. Women of the Moose, if you want to gather as women, we meet the first Thursday of the month at 7, but we do a dinner. We invite our spouses and others, and we have just a fun time and a meal and fellowship, and then the women, stay back in the meeting room and have a short meeting about our projects. And then we started something new that the ladies really enjoy. The last Thursday of the month, we're doing a women's activity night, and so we do some kind of craft or something to keep the ladies involved. The lanterns were fun.
That's really cool.
We made some 4th of July decorations back in June also, but we got some fun things coming up for that. Food 7 days a week. Friday nights, the fish and steaks, I'm telling you, it's just top notch. Highly recommend the flat iron steak on Friday night.
Oh my gosh. What? Now I'm like starving.
I know, now I'm hungry. I haven't had breakfast yet.
I haven't either. And you guys are open on the 4th.
We are open on the 4th. I think lodge is usually closed maybe Easter and Christmas, but other than that, we stay open year round.
Susan, I hear people say, I want to be involved with something that, helps the community. When they find out, like, the Moose just gave $31,000 in scholarships, they are helping local people who are in need, opening their doors. They're involved. I would imagine that's a pretty good signal to be like, yeah, that's something I can get behind.
Right, because it's just, with that, and then we do the annual first responders. We give to all our local fire departments, ambulance service, police department, between $20,000 and $25,000 a year. We donate out to that. Holiday times, we help the food bank and we associated charities, turkeys at Thanksgiving and hams at Christmas. There's many local projects. The Women of the Moose do a couple projects with associated charities, their backpack program, and we raise funds for that Christmas for Kids program. There's just many ways to help our community. And on a national level, we highly support our child school, Moose Heart, and Moose Haven for seniors. So we are a national benefit that is an awesome program for kids and seniors.
I know you just got back from a trip, but if somebody said, hey, I want to join, but I want to learn more, could they work with you on going out to those places themselves if they just wanted to see?
They could, and different lodges have done it. We've talked about it, like maybe taking a bus trip, out to the Moose Heart School. Like I said, different lodges have done it. It's a great way to see it. I will say, once you actually go there and see what's happening and where our dollars are going, it really, if it doesn't melt your heart, it just makes a huge difference. It takes seeing it. It was enough for me on a local level to see what's going on, but when you add our national program onto that, it's just, I think we're one of the greatest fraternities out there.
Well, remind folks how they can become members. If they aren't a member, how do they do it?
You simply just need a Moose member to sponsor you. Locally, we've hit the 1,700 member mark. There's probably somebody out there or if you're new to the area, we just had a couple stop in and they wanted to try it out. Bartender or a person there signed them in and they really liked it. We want to join. So the staff that's there, if you even want to stop in and get signed in to see what it's about, they can sponsor you if you don't have a friend, but it's really just that easy. Just need a person to sponsor you in.
And there's a good chance you're probably going to know somebody, right?
There is. There's a lot of us that are officers that you see all over town. I hang my other hat at Market Square, so you can always find me and pull me aside there. I love to talk moose.
More than just a hat hanging over there.
I've got I don't know what it is.
It's like is it your first home or second home?
I don't know. It's becoming my first home this time of year.
It's great though. And we'll talk to you about that on
we'll be here Thursday.
And because we were talking about, visitors stopping at the Moose and how great that is. But Market Square is another place that attracts people from all over.
That you could. And speaking of visitors, we had somebody from another lodge had a big camper. They were in the area. They asked if they could park their camper in our back parking lot just for safety, and they had some relatives, maybe Erie or somewhere close, and they show us an insurance card and your Moose membership, and it was just like a safe place to leave their camper, and they hung out and had dinner with us a few nights.
Wow.
So it's all good.
Yeah. Well, again, you can find information on Facebook. You can stop to get information, and if you see somebody, if you see Susan around town or Randy out on the golf course,
right?
It's never a pain to come up to you, even if they see you at the grocery store or something.
Yeah, no, we love talking moose. We like what we're doing.
Yeah, well, you're doing great things. So, and again, the membership is all supporting this and being involved in the events there. So. Yeah, join today. Moose Family Center, 84, located at 614 West Central Avenue, Texas. I'm sure there's people that drive by and see all the cars going, hey, what's going on?
What's going on there?
Don't say what's going on. Actually stop.
Yes, they do. There's a national website if you really want to see, like, nationally what the Moose does too, mooseintl.org, mooseinternational.org, but mooseintl, and there's a lot about things that we do. We sponsor a NASCAR driver, Ross Chastain. He actually came and spoke and smashed a watermelon at our conference right off the stage.
Very nice.
If you follow racing, you'll know he does that.
We should do something where we could have like Randy smash a watermelon, or you smash a watermelon if you get like 50 added people this month or something.
We talked about having like a dunking booth. If you sponsor 10 people, you can dunk the president or something. I don't know. Don't tell them I said that. It's already out there.
Wait for it to be planned. Susan, great to see you this morning.
Yep.
Thanks for your time. We'll see you Thursday.
Thanks.
All right, take care.